final long quoted material from one of the last speeches of President Getulio Vargas. What is Freire trying to highlight? I mean, if you look at the rhetorical essence of this paragraph or this passage, it's saying, I want to help you, I want to change your lives, but there are forces that want to stop me. So you need to organize so that you lend me that power so that I can fight on your behalf, right? So it's kind of doing it in a reverse way. What Freire is saying is that a true revolutionary movement or leaders who call themselves revolutionary, they will not have to resort to this. They will not come to power based on the crutches given to them by the elite and then try to incorporate the people in their movements. No. Their approach will be more organic. They will come to power because people have become conscious of their lived conditions, because they know of why the world works the way it works. And throughout the book, what we have been learning is that the work of education, learning, dissemination has to happen before the revolutionary change, before the revolutionary movement. Otherwise, the revolution will get incorporated by the bourgeois. And there's a cautionary note here towards the end of this segment where he's saying, well, you know, a lot of leftist leaders think that negotiating with the people is what the bourgeois do, right? But no, let's not worry about it. We don't negotiate with people. We work with the people. We learn from the people, and we then learn together how does the current system work? How does it operate? And in the process of doing that, we also then learn how solidarity works. And then that solidarity brings the people to power. People who want to create a more just world. So that's the subtle thing that he's trying to teach us over here. That's why towards the end of his section on manipulation, he's saying, well, maybe we ought to make manipulation itself as a subject, as a topic of discussion. If we are learning together, we need to talk to people and say, okay, you think like this. You think of your fellow human beings who live in the same living conditions this way. Is it you, your own organic thought? Or is it the system in which you exist that is already making you think of others as competition and not as fellow sufferers or fellow travelers? So making manipulation how it works and making it a subject, of course, is key. So remember, we started with he telling us what is it the elite uses. One is this myth of upward mobility, which is given to the people. And you know, if you compete against each other, follow the rules, you can have what others have, right? And the other was by selecting people whom they use as leaders of the community. Now, these people may not represent the community, they represent the interest of the elite, but they are implanted and used, right? So it's a system of dispensations, salaried work, healthcare, student loans, right? Whatever, which forces us to think of our own self-interest most of the time at the cost of others, right? And most of the times manipulation works through these, what Althusser would call ideological means, right? And educational system is a part of that, right? It creates those divides amongst us. And then if you're in America, race, gender, ethnicity, all of these are mobilized to keep us apart, right? But also to keep us unaware and uncritical of the world in which we live. I mean, think of the American K-12 system, this emphasis on high-stake testing, right? What does it give to the people? That in order to be better in life, we need to do well on tests. But what does it take away? The time that students could have spent in a classroom thinking critically about the world and developing critical consciousness. So the system sustains itself by more and more people, by keeping them uncritical, by actually not even giving them the skills to think critically, right? So most of the times it works ideologically. And for a revolutionary change or a movement to emerge, the consciousness, revolutionary consciousness, must be built first. The solidarities must be built first, right? And that is what has been throughout this book, the project, right? To realize our full humanity. But in order to do that, we must change the world. We must change how it works and make it more equitable. In order to do that, we must learn from each other. We must learn to think critically. We must develop a mode of pedagogy that is dialogical and that is not top-down and anti-dialogical. That is what he is doing. So this ends my segment on manipulation.